Okay, we are recording. Welcome to our joint team call, everyone. It's already February 8th, which is kind of blowing my mind. I don't think I'm alone on that. I don't know if you guys answered me, Cait or Amanda, if we wanted to do any of the housekeeping stuff.
I think Amanda and I both said that we didn't write out recognition. I'll do recognition tomorrow on my team, but if there's anything else that you want to talk about for housekeeping stuff, for my coaches or anybody who's on, the one thing that I do want to say is we have a new coach training that started on Monday. So if you're a new coach not in that and participating, make sure that you get in there. But that's really all I could think about. Anything that you comes to mind?
Other than it's Team Cup month, so
yeah,
if you're not able to work hard for yourself, just remember that hopefully you are on a Team Cup. So if you can't show up for yourself, then make sure to show up for your teammates. And then this is the last month, you guys, of the $199 All Access Challenge Pack. And so if you're like not talking about it, start talking about it, maybe every day in some way, shape, or form, because it's a freaking huge deal. And I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I don't know what they're going to like transform it into, or if they're like getting rid of it or just changing the price, but take advantage of it this month for sure.
Agreed. Because that's 3 Success Club points. So this month, really, I mean, if you're on a Team Cup team, like push yourself past Success Club 5 because it's possible. But you could help 2 people and hit Success Club and earn back your monthly investment in your Shakeology, which you should be doing anyway. So you just got to make it happen.
Okay. I don't really have any housekeeping stuff. It's pretty much like all focused on Team Cup. But we are going to be each of us are giving our top 3 tips on building a business, on hitting Success Club and rank advancing to Emerald. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. These are really important things in the business. And one thing that Amanda, Dani, and I realized recently is we don't have enough Emerald coaches on our teams. And this is something that is really important to us because in order for any success for our teams, and it's not just like for our personal success, like we want you guys to be successful. We're 1-star diamond coaches, but it's really important to us that we see you guys duplicating our success. And that starts by hitting Emerald and officially opening your business. Until you're an Emerald coach, your business isn't officially open because you're only making commissions off challenge packs. And when you sign up to coaches, you start earning team cycle bonuses and you start growing a team. And one thing that we want you to know is you never don't want to assume somebody wouldn't want to do this because you never know how financially this opportunity could change their life or what they could do with it. So Emerald is a really important milestone. And especially with it being Team Cup month, you get, isn't it 3 points for rank advancement?
Yeah. You and your sponsor, yeah.
You and your sponsor for your team. So it's really important to make it happen this month. I don't know who wants to start.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I have someone advancing tomorrow too. Can we? I never like to say anything though, because I don't want to curse it and then active or something like that. So, well, maybe I'll start.
Okay.
What if we all have all of the same things? That would be.
I know.
I would totally crack up. Great minds think alike. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if you guys. We're all doing top 3 things for each topic. So I'm like a total list kind of person. So if you are a list person, grab your pen and paper and get ready to take some notes. First, I'm going to start off with my top 3 tips for building your business. And the other thing, you guys, is even if you hear something and you're like, oh, I've heard that before, still write it down because there's something that happens when you are putting pen to paper and it going into your brain and you taking action. It's like a beautiful harmony. So still write it down. And I know in this business, I hear something 10 times and maybe on the 11th time it clicks. So that's also something that's very real in this business. So everything you hear, take it in and really think about it. So for building your business, my first thing is that your business only grows as much as you do. So you need to do as much personal development and personal growth as you can. And the way I operate is that I like to have a few personal development books going at a time. Maybe one's for my self-confidence, maybe one's for education in terms of the business, maybe one's in terms of like financial mindset. I just like to have kind of a few different aspects of personal development because I know I need it. I can totally tell when I'm not doing my PD and I totally get in like this weird place. So your business only grows as much as you do. So a few tips: swap TV for PD. Just because they say do 10 pages a day, that doesn't mean you can only do 10 pages a day. Like, do 50 pages a day. Put on an Audible book or something from YouTube, motivational, or a Spotify playlist that has motivational speaking instead of listening to music. Listen to an Audible book while you're driving, while you're in the shower. Listen to old wake-up calls, you guys. The Team Beachbody podcast, you can go back for years and get old podcasts and listen to those. So inundate yourself with personal development, because if you're not growing, your business is not going to grow. And you're going to say, what is wrong here? Do more personal development. My number 2 is be consistent. This is probably one of those things you've heard 50 million times, but it's not a joke. There's a few reasons that you want to be consistent. In terms of being consistent with adding your friends, CCQing, having conversations, those kind of things, you guys, the reason you want to be consistent there is because I always kind of like giggle when I have my coaches come to me and say, I have no one to invite. I'm like, how do you not have anyone to invite? If you've been adding your friends and CCQing and building relationships, you will never run out of people to invite. And that's why it's so important to stay consistent on those behaviors, because then it kind of trickles down and you always have people to invite to your challenge groups and to the coaching opportunity. As far as social media, if you want to grow your social media, if you only show up every other day, you're going to have a really hard time getting traction and getting trust. There's a great, what's the word? Analogy, I think is what I'm looking for. Hello. There's a great analogy that I heard from Bonnie Engel from Summit, and she talked about if you every day on your way to work, you walk by this magazine stand and you pick up People magazine and you read it on the subway on your way to work. The next day, say you go and the magazine stand ran out of People, or they don't carry the People magazine anymore. Are you going to just stop reading a magazine? No, you're going to pick up Life and Style. Now you have a new magazine to read. That's what people do with us. We are the magazine. So if you disappear or if you're not posting, they're going to move to the next person. I don't know like if you guys have had this experience a lot, but probably 3 to 5 times a week with people I talk to, I hear them say, I follow a bunch of coaches, but you're the one I relate to most, or, something to that effect. So don't think that you have exclusivity to anybody. If you don't show up, you're going to lose trust and you're going to lose traction in terms of your page kind of showing up. And I'm kind of speaking in terms of Instagram on that. So be consistent with your combos, be consistent with your social media, be consistent in everything that you're supposed to be doing every day. My number 3 for building a biz, hit Success Club. I mean, you guys, this is a non-negotiable. You have to hit Success Club. This is how I think of it. I've never missed Success Club since I've been a coach. And this is even crazier because when I joined as a coach, my coach wasn't coaching. She just was doing it for the discount. So I literally had no one ever show me how to do it. I never had a GSR call. I've never been in a challenge group, you guys. I just signed up and I figured it out. I just started helping people and I haven't looked back since. Here's how I view it though. And this, I think I said this on my team call the other night. What if you got fired if you didn't hit Success Club? What if Beachbody could take away this opportunity from you? Does that kind of change things in your mind? Like, oh, Cait, I'm sorry, but, the month of January, you just didn't hit your numbers. We're going to have to let you go. The market's getting a little saturated and, you're not a top performer, so we're just going to have to let you go. If we, if we didn't have this amazing opportunity, like, you got to treat it like what it is, you guys. It would totally suck if we were getting fired from this amazing opportunity. I don't know about you guys. I do not know what I would do with my life. I mean, it's just kind of crazy to think about. So think about Success Club like that. If you do not hit Success Club, you get fired. That's how I think about it. If it's the last day of the month and I'm at 0, you guys, I am like not blinking until 8:59. I am not putting down my computer or my phone. I am talking to everybody. I am following up with people that I talked to 3 years ago. I am talking to people that I haven't seen in 10 years. I'm doing whatever I need to do to hit Success Club. Okay, so that's my number 3 for building the business. I guess I can move right into hitting Success Club, my top 3 for that, since that's one of my building business tips. Number 1, for me, again, these are my top 3 tips. Everybody's different. Transformations and hard invites on my social media are like liquid gold. And I'm not talking one. I'm not saying post 1 transformation in the month to get people interested. When I'm trying to get like a lot of people interested, I post a transformation every single day for a week. And not only is it a transformation, but it's a hard invite. And everyone kind of does their hard invites differently. So feel free to check out my page and kind of scroll back. I'm about to hit them hard this week. I kind of in my own cycle, I do 2 weeks of hitting it hard and then 2 weeks of just trying to add a lot of value. And then I do 2 weeks of hitting it hard and then like 2 weeks of adding value. So right now I'm moving into my 2 weeks of hitting it hard phase, which means you're going to see a lot of transformations. You're going to see a lot of flexing photos. You're going to see a lot of hard invites where I'm saying, join my group, like this post, drop your email below, email me, drop a smiley face, just a lot of like, do you want to join my group? That's what really works for me. Number 2, use the scripts. This is not a drill. Like, you guys use them. I have used scripts for every single person I've ever talked to. And again, let's remind you, I've never missed Success Club. When I'm talking to my mom, when I'm talking to my best friend, when I'm talking to someone I've never met before, I use the scripts because they work. Number 1. Number 2, the scripts, don't think of it weird. All it is keeping you on track with the conversation and getting you the information that you need to be able to help these people and keeping the conversation going so they're not like, yeah, I'm interested. And you're like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's been life-changing for me. But then like, they're like, okay, well then like, what do I do next? Like, you just use them. They're going to make your life easier. And you can have 20 conversations in the time that you maybe had 1 conversation before. And that's the other thing about them. Number 3, I like to do specials and or giveaways at the end of the month. If I'm really like, oh gosh, I'm stressing out. I need, I'm not even close to my goal. This is your business, you guys. You can do whatever you want. You can say next 3 people to join get a $10 Lush gift card. You can order a bunch of like those Energize packets and say, everybody who joins my challenge group today gets put in a drawing for this pre-workout. I mean, whatever it is, that's how I hit Success Club. Yeah, with a giveaway. Yeah. So you guys, I did something weird. You always have that opportunity to like do a giveaway, a promo, whatever it is you want to do. It's your business. Play around with it. Okay, so that's my 3 for hitting Success Club. So let me do my last, getting to Emerald. Although I'm going to give you my top 3 tips to getting to Emerald and beyond, because I've had a few people who just were like, oh, get to Emerald. I got to Emerald. And then they like stop because they're like, well, I got to Emerald. I'm like, okay, no. Emerald is like a high 5, but then you got to keep getting to Emerald like every week. Just keep recruiting 2 coaches at a time. Okay, so my number 1 for getting to Emerald and above, post about the coaching opportunity 3 to 5 times on your social media. And that doesn't mean like post, I am a coach. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I have an exercise on my YouTube that you guys can go check out. And it's an exercise of like, I have you go through like listing a bunch of things about coaching and how it's changed your life. And then I teach you how to tie those things into your posts. So check that out on my YouTube. I don't want to spend too much time on that tonight since you can go watch it on your own time. But when I was just a coach, I remember Amy saying, post about coaching 3 to 5 times a week if you want to rank advance. And so I took that because I wanted to rank advance to diamond. And I posted about coaching in some way, shape, or form 7 times a week. I posted about it every single day. And I got to diamond in less than 2 months. I think it was like 6 weeks. So it worked for me. Number 2, getting to emerald and above. Invite everybody to be a coach. Don't make up people's minds for them. Don't be like, oh, I don't think this person would want to be a coach. Because guess what, you guys? I learned this the hard way. There were some really awesome girls that I met that I'm like, oh, they would be amazing coaches. But then I like totally second guessed myself and I'm like, they're going to think I'm stupid if I invite them. Oh, God, they probably don't want to coach, like whatever. Guess what? They joined as coaches on someone else's team. That's happened to me many, many times. The longer you're in this business, the more that's going to happen to you as well. So invite everyone. Don't make up people's minds for them. And number 3, prime your challengers. These people you are bringing in as your challengers in your challenge groups, get them started on personal development. I do a point system in my challenge groups where people get points for posting on their social media. Get them using their social media as accountability. Get them thinking positive. Get them being a product of the product. Add value about Shakeology so they know how amazing it is and why they need to keep drinking it. Take care of your challengers and prime them to be. And then don't forget that last step. Start talking about coaching in your challenge groups and inviting your challengers. Don't just hope they come to you. Say, hey, who wants to learn more about coaching? Or private message them. Hey, you've really been killing it in this challenge group. And your posts on social media, girl, you're doing exactly what I'm doing, except for I'm getting paid. And they're like, oh, wait, what? And I could get a discount? Sign me up. Okay, those are my tips.
Okay. Amanda, do you want me to go or should you go?
Huh?
Do you want to go or I go?
I can go. Yeah.
Right, so you're going to use my tips now. I was already crossing things.
Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so my top 3 tips for building a business. Number 1, of course, is consistency. Like, I feel like everybody says consistency, but it's so true because like Dani was saying, is that you're not going to build any trust with anybody if you're kind of like in and out. And for me, for example, I built like over 95% of my business through social media, through strangers, people that I didn't know before. I didn't have a warm market. I didn't have, like all these friendships or whatever that I could like dive into. And, like I just had coworkers and stuff like that. They weren't like solid friendships that you could like ask people to do you a favor to like try this out for you in the beginning, like a lot of people do. I didn't have that. So I really, really had to focus on building my social media. And ever since the beginning, I never, ever missed a day in posting on social media. Never, ever. I just kind of little pieces of what I was learning in my personal development, what I was learning with my fitness, stuff I was learning with my food, and kind of just like sharing that and thinking of ways like how is this motivating me, and transferring that to try to share that with my social media, and do that consistently so I can continue to build those relationships online. And you'll find that most of your business is going to be coming from social media because that's what we're doing. Like we want to expand past just the people that we know, right? So number 2 is duplication. Something that has been coming up a lot is like, we're focusing on emerald and rank advancing, but building a business is so much more than advancing in rank. You could be a diamond coach making like $100 a week, or you can be a diamond coach making $3,000 a week. So it's about really focusing on your people, not management mode. You want to be bringing in new people every single month, and also teach your team how to duplicate what you're doing. So you need to have a system, and I'm going to talk about that in the Success Club, but you need to have a system and you need to be duplicating and building volume in your business. So volume comes from your coaches staying on their journey and continuing to get their Shakeology and being active coaches. And volume is also going to be coming from them hitting Success Club and then building their teams. And that's how you are going to be earning a paycheck. That's how you are going to be building your business and building a tribe of people who, like everybody on this call, is working together and like on the same mindset with the same vision. Like this started with just me, Dani, Cait, like singular, like by ourselves. And now look at all these people on our teams because we have been consistent and we duplicate. So it's really important to do those things. Number 3, having a vision. This is the most important thing ever, like in your entire business, when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to building a team, when it comes to challengers and getting uncomfortable and doing all the things that we do as coaches. It always comes down to vision. If you don't have a big vision, a bigger purpose for why you're doing this, if you don't love it, if you're not having fun, if you're not striving towards this like life and ultimate thing that you want to experience in your life, you're not going to push through those moments that get you super weird and sweaty. Like reaching out to those people like who are complete strangers who you just friend requested on Facebook, that, and you're a new coach, you just friend requested a complete stranger and you're totally freaking out about it. And then you have to message them, you know, and say hi, you know, like that gets you uncomfortable. I know I didn't do that for a long time, and I would probably be so much further in my business if I got over that shit real quick. So you need to have the vision that's going to pull you through those uncomfortable moments and get you to do the things that make you feel weird. So I could do a whole entire call on vision, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, so tips on hitting Success Club. You need to make it a non-negotiable. It really has to be a non-negotiable for you. For me, I wasn't somebody who was hitting Success Club. Actually, last month was my 12th month consecutively hitting Success Club. I'm going to be honest. And I really struggled with it, and I think there was 2 things. My mindset was jacked up around it. Like I thought, you know, I don't know. I had a lot of mental crap roaming around my head that I had to work through. When I went to Tony Robbins, it totally changed the game for me. So personal development, definitely, like Dani, she totally covered that. I'm not even going to go over personal development, but hitting Success Club needs to be non-negotiable. In the beginning, I didn't make it a non-negotiable. I was like, oh, it's fine. You know, I'll figure it out eventually. And I did. And good thing I had a strong vision to keep my ass moving every day, because if I didn't have that strong vision, I wouldn't have stuck around, because I wasn't hitting Success Club. I wasn't feeling that success. I wasn't making the paychecks, you know, for a very long time. And it's because I didn't make it a non-negotiable from the very beginning. So that needs to be something that you really need to like switch, like a light switch in your mind. Number 2, talk to a lot of people. You need to have a system to follow with your invitation process. I've been using the business activity tracker. I kind of, in the beginning, thought it was super lame because it was like, you know, it looked all corporate-y, and it like came in like a little thing. I don't know. It just looked weird to me. So I never tracked on the business activity tracker. And now I feel so ridiculous because I've been using one that really works for me, and I changed it so that it has bigger goals, like so that it has kind of like the Power Hour goals in it, like hey girls, invitations, new friends, stuff like that, all in the business activity tracker, so I can track my daily Power Hour activities. And I also added at the bottom like who I'm CCQing. I added like my list of people that I'm talking to, so I have a system, and it's all in one nice little place on my computer in one document, and it's awesome. It makes me feel super productive. You start feeling that success, even though maybe the numbers aren't there yet. You know you're hitting certain goals every single day, and that feels good, and that builds your confidence. So it's really important to do that and talk to a lot of people, because if you're not talking to anyone and you're just hoping that attraction marketing is going to happen for you right off the bat, it's not. I had that like delirium that I thought, you know, oh, my pictures are awesome. Like, I love photography and I do so good on my Instagram. Like, people are just going to like fill my form out all day. And it does not happen. Like, people don't fill out my form all day. I have to message people every single day. And then they're like, oh my God, you're so awesome. I'm so glad you messaged me, because they're like totally creeping on your profile. And then they feel super flattered that you reach out to them. So you need to pay attention who is liking your stuff, and you need to reach out to them, because they're probably like, one, don't know that you can help them, which if you're not being consistent, they're not going to know that you can help them. And number two, they're probably really scared to reach out to you. So you need to be reaching out to those people. And number three tip for Hitting Success Club is you need to share stories. Facts tell, stories sell. Something I learned in the very beginning from Danny Johnson. People don't care about the nutrition facts on Shakeology. I mean, some people do. I was somebody who cared about it, but it wasn't the first reason why I was interested in Shakeology was because of the story about how Shakeology is produced and the integrity behind it. That's a story. That's not necessarily the facts and figures of Shakeology of like how it lowers cholesterol and does all this stuff. Like, that's all cool. But the heart and the integrity behind it and that story is what got me interested in Shakeology. So yeah, just keep sharing stories, and don't let, like, people are going to say no. People are going to get weird. Like, I got a weird message today. I shared it with my Team Cup team. I sent a friend request, and I said, like, my typical, like, new friend message that I send to everybody. And she's like, WTF, who are you? Like, something like that. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm going to respond yet. But sometimes people, you know, people get weird on you. People will delete and block you. Like, who cares? Your vision is bigger than that. Who cares? Like, focus on the fact that this can change people's lives. And you know that by the simple fact that it's changed your life, and it's changed all these people's lives on this call. It's changed any customers that you have who actually do it. It's changed all their lives. So you see it firsthand, and you need to build that confidence and be super confident in what you're saying. So when I'm talking to people, I don't let them go that easily. I question them. Like, why do you think this isn't good for you? Because I know for 100% fact in my bones that this will change their life. I know it. It just doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense to me for people to not follow through. So you have to build that confidence for yourself and put your confidence pants on and wear them until they become a part of your body. You know what I'm saying? You need to put them on and pretend that you're confident and just like practice and practice and practice. And then you build this like passion, and you want to shake people when they say no, because you're like, man, that's too bad for you. You're really missing out on this freaking incredible opportunity, whether it to be a coach or a customer. So emeralds, number one, you need to be talking about your business. You need to be talking about coaching. You need to be talking about your team and your community and what it is you're doing. Share pictures. Like, before I had ever gone to a live event, I would do collages all the time. I'm like, this is my team. And I would like make collages of all the team. I would take pictures or like screenshots of Zoom calls and like show people that I'm a part of a community. And then now that I've like gone to multiple trips and I hang out with my team all the time, I get to take pictures with them in person, and I share about that. I used to do featured, and I still do, like featured coaches and share about their stories. And you want to be sharing about your community. Like, people aren't going to know that they can join your team if you're not talking about the community and the tribe that you're building. So doing recognition is super important. Recognizing your team, recognizing your challengers, at least like 3 times a week, I would say recognition, if not every single day on your, I like to do recognition on Facebook. I don't really do recognition on Instagram, but, so yeah, you need to be talking about what you're doing. also think about who you were before you started coaching and talk about that, because that's the person that you're going to be connecting with. Is like where you were before you started coaching and what life is like now. And I even did that. I did that with a post recently, and I shared it with my team today, like where I was when I was a brand new coach at my first Super Saturday, totally like had no idea what I was doing. I'd never been to a Super Saturday event. I drove 3 hours south to get there. And now I'm a full-time coach. Like looking back at the difference and how my life has transformed since then is incredible. And so like sharing where you were before, where you are now, your vision, what you're looking for, it's like super important. And okay, so the last one is to start with your friends and family to join your team. So my first two coaches were my husband and my friend, and that's how I got to Emerald. And then I continued to build on that every single month. Building. Like I didn't just assume that those two people were going to hang around, because they're not. I mean, my husband's still a coach, but he's not like an active coach. He doesn't like work his business. He has his own thing going on, you know? So I'm not going to build a solid business on discount coaches, and neither are you. Like I was saying before, you need to have people who are going to be duplicating what you're doing. So start with your friends and family and don't leave it there. Continue to build so you can move on to the next level, because you're here to do something bigger than just get to Emerald, right? All right.
Okay, so as they've been going on, I keep changing my things a little bit. So I'm not overly repetitive, but there are a couple of things that cross. But like Dani said, like we hear things all the time. And sometimes if like you're on my team, you'll hear me repeat things, and I'm sure it goes in one ear and out the other. But you may hear Amy say something, or Amanda say something, or Dani, and be like, golden moment. And we're like, what the heck? We say that all the time. But sometimes you just have to hear it from different perspectives. So my first tip for building your business is really basic. It's just freaking start. If you're in your head, you're dead. Like you'll hear that over and over and over. If you try to know everything about coaching, or everything about running a challenge group, or everything about Shakeology and the business, like you're never going to do anything. If you watch all the YouTube videos, that doesn't mean that's going to build your business. You need to get into action. Take massive action in the beginning. Because so often I have coaches come to me and they're like, I watched all these trainings, I did all this stuff, and I feel really overwhelmed. And I'm like, but have you started inviting? Are you doing the 4 vital behaviors? Because you have to start there. Okay, so tip 2, which is another no-brainer, but it's really important because I didn't do this at first. Treat your business like a freaking business. Treat it like $1 million business, a 6-figure business. You didn't just invest $140 or $160 or, that $40 coaching fee that you got waived because you probably started with a challenge pack. No. Think about this not as a $40 business. Think about this as a 6-figure business, because I promise you, you will take it a hell of a lot more seriously if you come into it like that. And don't, if you have excuses about why your business isn't working, well, my husband doesn't take my time seriously. This was a reality check I had 4 months in when my boyfriend, I was like, well, nobody around me takes it seriously. And Amy, my coach, said you need to take yourself seriously in order for other people to take it seriously. So you have to treat it like a business. And that means you need to treat your workouts like the business. You won't get people, it goes back to consistency and building trust. Like you have to show people that you are doing this and that they are going to do it with you, whether or not it's right now or a year from now, because you're going to stay consistent. But you have to treat your fitness and nutrition like a business. This was a huge wake-up call for me last year. I hit a plateau, and it was because I wasn't pushing myself. I was pushing myself in other areas, but my success club points were dwindling. I wasn't reaching as many people. I wasn't having fun with it. And it was because I was being a product of the product. I was drinking my Shakeology every day, but I wasn't really following the meal plan 100%. And I wasn't pushing myself in my workouts. And it's really important that you do plans, like you do programs start to finish. You get behind every program that ever comes out and share it, even if it's not like your thing. I know when Country Heat came out, I was super skeptical. I know when Quarter Force came out, Dani was super skeptical about that at first. And so we all have those mind blocks, but that's just your ego. You have to get over that. Get over your ego. because Beachbody created these programs and this meal plan to get people results. And if you want other people to do it, you have to do it first. You have to lead by example. You will not have a business if you do not have belief. So build a belief. Treat your belief like your business. And just say, you know what, I'm doing this. This is my business. This is going to be a 6-figure freaking business for me. And treat it as that. Like, don't treat it like a hobby. Set hours, decide that you're going to make this happen. Make sacrifices, especially in the first few years of this business. Like, I don't think I made enough sacrifices. And that was because I wasn't treating it as a 6-figure business. I was like, well, I'll do it now. I'll do it then. I'll do my invites later, or I'll do my personal development later. You have to do the 4 vital behaviors consistently, like it's your business, like you're going to get fired, like Dani said. If you need to treat it like that, like any other job you've ever had where you do have a boss maybe, or you do, and you can have your spouse or significant other or friends or family, like, keep you accountable. Dylan always asks me when he gets home, so how many people did you talk to today? Did you do your workouts? How's your accountability? Did you post in your challenge group? What success club are you at? And we had that conversation and sat down with him, and I said, you know what, this is a business. I'm going to take this seriously. So he knows when I make sacrifices for our time now, it's so we can build a future for ourselves later. Okay, so my next tip is something that was really crucial for me as a coach when I started working my business, because it took me 4 months to really pull my head out of my ass and start working. It was Team Cut Month 3 years ago when I actually really first started working my business. It was the first time I ever hit Success Club. So this is why it's called the 3 feet rule. And so we talked about social media, and it is really important to talk to people on social media, but don't discount the people that you see in person. When I worked retail, I was a barista. So I talked to people all day, and I would always hint at what I was doing or say, yeah, I'm a health and fitness coach. Oh, this is my part-time job, but I'm building my health and fitness business. I also work from home, and I help other people reach their goals. A 3 feet rule is super important. I've literally sold a challenge pack in line at Starbucks. I've sold a challenge pack at the bus stop. And it's just talking to people and asking people, and don't be afraid to say it. Like, don't say, yeah, I'm a health and fitness coach. Be like, yeah, I'm a health and fitness coach. I get to help people. Like, remember, you are your billboard. You have to show up. You have to, like, be the light, especially right now with everybody with, like, the negativity and all the stuff going on. Show that you're going to empower yourself and you're going to lead by example. Like, don't ever discount somebody. Like, don't not talk to someone. I have also signed up cashiers, and I used to be a courtesy clerk, and I just talk to people about what I do and how I can relate to them. But yeah, have a 3 feet rule. I challenge you for the rest of this week, wherever you go out, like, talk to people. They won't bite 99% of the time. I mean, don't be weird, like stranger danger and all that, but, like, just have the 3 feet rule. Okay. So my best tips for hitting Success Club is share your freaking story. And it goes back to Amanda's, like, facts tell, stories sell. And it goes back to Dani's sharing transformations. It's really important to share your personal story. And one thing that I say when I share my story, I talk about owning. When I talk to coaches about sharing their story, I say, own your ugly. Share the things that make you uncomfortable to share, because those are the things that somebody is going to relate to, because you don't want to be perfect. Like, recently when I hit a plateau in my business, and I was like, I don't know, how can I coach people when I hit a plateau? Or, like, how can I share this transformation when it shows that I wasn't at my best? How can I be an example? Like, I had all these limiting doubts, and I was catching myself saying, well, this makes me really uncomfortable to share. And then I remembered, I'm real. As coaches, we're not fitness experts. We're not professionals. We're real people sharing our story. So that's what I did. I just shared my story, and I shared authentically my struggles, the things I was going through, how I plateaued. And it's really important to put yourself out there like that and constantly be sharing that. Share your story at least once a week. Share your transformation. It doesn't always have to be a invite. It can just be talking about your story. But right now, especially, I am doing more invite posts through my hard invites as well. But that being said, you might look at Amanda's social media, Dani's social media, or my social media, and see, like, oh, well, they have followers. I want to post this transformation and say, drop your email below. But I don't hit Success Club. We do work behind the scenes. That is not all we're doing. It is not all attraction marketing. But it is important to build your social media while you're doing your hard invites and you're messaging people and you're forming people, but like know that our businesses look slightly different and you can't just rely on hard invites, but it is important to put yourself out there because you can reach out to the people who like and comment on those photos and ask them if they're interested and on their own fitness journey. But really share your story and share other transformations from the team. There are so many of them. I know I have an album of transformations in Team Live and Love. I know there's one in Set Your Soul on Fire. You can just Google, or you can like search in the team tabs, transformations. There's tons of them out there.
Hey, Cait,
okay.
I'm going to I want to add a tip for that.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, don't rely just on the transformations and whatnot. Here's something that's like works for me when I do, and this is another reason I think it's so hard to do the transformations and the hard invites, because when I'm having a private conversation, I can say, hey, did you see that post I made today? And then it kind of like gives me something to talk about with them. Or if I'm having a conversation with someone and I make a post, they're like, hey, what's that thing you just posted? So it's kind of like a conversation starter at the same time. Like if you're too nervous to bring it up or something. So it's like a great like way to like, conversation. Did you see this post? Join me.
It's funny that you mentioned that because actually it's kind of part of my next tip, which is fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to hear it so many times. No, it totally works because I wasn't going to tie it in exactly how you did, but it's just another way to do it. So when I send follow-up emails or messages, I always say, I don't know if you saw my last post, but the transformation that I talked about recently, but fortune isn't a follow-up. Do not stop following up with someone until they tell you no forever. Like they're not interested. Or they sign up with another person or they sign up with you. Like don't ever stop until somebody tells you, because you're talking to them or they reached out to you or whatever reason why you're talking to them, because they need help. You have a source for them to get results. You have tools and you're talking to them because you can provide a need that they have. So don't feel bad about following up with people. There are different follow-ups in the team pages. I know Amanda and Dani have, along with I have, and there's some in Set Your Soul on Fire too. There's like 1 to 3 day follow-ups. There are 5 to 7. I follow up with people who I've talked to a year ago. You never know how long it's going to take someone. Generally, it takes someone 7 to 9 times of seeing something or thinking about something before they actually join. So that's why it's really important to do follow-ups. And then with that too, it's like I wanted to say find a flow with your follow-ups. This is something new. So if you're like, you're going to follow up with your old challengers, you're going to see if they want to become a coach. You're going to follow up with your people who waited, or follow up with, find a flow for your follow-ups. It's Monday through Sunday, however it works for you. But the last thing I want to say about hitting Success Club is don't procrastinate it. Do not procrastinate it till the end of the month. This is like my biggest tip. Like act like the beginning of the month is the end of the month, because you don't want to be waiting to the last few days to make Success Club happen. I have made Success Club happen in like 2 hours before the end of the month. That was in my first year. That sucks. And so when you hit Success Club in the beginning of the month, you're setting yourself up for success, because then you can keep going and you can help your challengers. You can focus on running a coach sneak peek or getting people in your coach sneak peek. But it is really important to like not procrastinate and make it happen. Remember, you're treating it like a business. You're going to be inviting constantly and sharing constantly. But yeah, it is very important and it's a non-negotiable. And the reason why Amanda, Dani, and I are where we're at with our businesses is because we've made it a non-negotiable. And it's until you decide you're going to make it happen, no matter what you have to do, that you won't hit it consistently until you decide it's a non-negotiable. It can't just be a goal. And one thing that I actually wanted to add back to treating it like a business, because I wrote it down and I just said goal, is set clear, defined goals for yourself. Going back to building a business, like set clear, defined goals. Don't just set this goal of, I want to be Emerald, or I want to hit Success Club 20 or 10, or I'm going to be a Diamond coach. Break those goals down. Have SMART goals. Make sure you're setting dates, but also you're getting real about the goals and the work that you need to do. Reverse engineering those goals to hit them. But it is really important to have a vision and have set goals, so you're not just leading yourself blindly through the month and reminding yourself why you're doing it. Because if you want anything in this business, you have to do the work, but you have to reverse engineer those goals so you know what you can do with those daily steps. Because you can work your business for an hour a day. I did it for my first 10 months before I went full time. It's just finding out how many people you need to talk to, how many people you need to follow up with, how many people you need a friend, and CCQ, which if you don't know means comment, or CCQ, comment, question. I don't know why that just got hard for me.
Comment, compliment.
Comment. Comment, compliment, question. Thank you. I knew something was wrong there. Thank you. Okay. Okay. My 3 tips for getting to Emerald. And actually one of these is going to be something that these were things that were already said, but kind of I want to say it in a different light, is 1, talk about the coaching opportunity. One thing that I always tell coaches to do is make a list of at least 10 to 20 ways that coaching has changed your life. It can be personal development's changed your relationship. I know for me, I talk about it, but if it weren't for coaching, there'd be no way I would have been with my boyfriend we're coming up on 4 years because of personal development and the growth, because I wasn't the person that I am today. And I didn't know how to be in a healthy relationship. I didn't know how to set standards. So talk about the difference in your life and how coaching has changed your life. It goes back to sharing your story, but make a list of 10 to 20 ways that coaching has changed your life and just talk about it. It doesn't have to be anything big. You don't have to have these formal ways to talk about it. And if you're like, well, I don't have a team yet, you do have a team. You have this team. You have Set Your Soul on Fire, which is a 4-time top 10 team. And you have to kind of fake it until you make it and talk about your vision and where you're going. But you have so many transformations and stories to share, but find 10 different ways. 10 ways, maybe you can spend extra money on groceries. That was huge for me, living paycheck to paycheck, having those little things, or, making health and fitness a part of your job and being able to take care of yourself as part of your job, because that's not a thing in real life. So have a list of 10 to 20 reasons and just start talking about it daily. And use those things to invite to sneak peeks that we host the 3rd Monday of every month, or I don't know. I know that's when we're hosting it. I don't know when Dani hosts hers. I know Amanda and I are hosting one the 3rd Monday of this month. But the next thing that I want to say, which again is, what is the word that I'm trying to say? Repeating. Thank you. Is don't assume anyone want to. Don't assume anybody would want to do this. Sorry, guys, I'm just losing my shit over here. Don't assume. And I have done this. I have seen people sign up with other people, and you never know how this opportunity is going to change someone's life. If it wasn't for Amy telling me multiple times I should be a coach, I had no idea what Beachbody was. When she told me to become a coach or any of these things, I didn't know any of it. I had no idea what it was. And now so many other people do it, but I probably wouldn't have done it unless somebody told me to do it. I had no idea. But don't ever assume. And another really good example, and I know she's on this call, is Amber Bayer. And when she reached out to me through Instagram, because I CCQ'd her stuff, and I creeped on her stuff because I was building my social media, and I was like, this girl's really cute. I would want to work with her. She joined my challenge group, and she was engaged at the time, working full-time as a hairstylist, a mom, and I was like, oh, she's rocking this challenge. But in the back of my head, I had already written her off for coaching. Sorry, Amber, but you already know this. I was like, she doesn't want to do this. She wouldn't want to be a coach. She works full-time as a hairstylist. She loves being a hairstylist. She's a mom. She, I don't know, she's wouldn't take me, I don't know, I discounted myself even. I was like, yeah, why would she want to be on my team? And I assumed. And then when I posted in my challenge group about a new coach training starting, about the different things about coaching, you can get a discount, or you can build a business and earn back your Shakeology, she was like, hey, I want to do this. And then we got on the call, and now here she is 2 years later. She's a Success Club 10 all-star legend. She hits at least Success Club 20 every single month. I took her to Puerto Rico this last year, and she is running with her business, and her life is completely changed. And I always use her as an example because I made that assumption, and thank God that she was like, no, I want to do this. But don't ever assume, because you never know how it's going to change someone's life. And if you don't ask, somebody else will. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So it's really important. Don't write somebody off. Okay, and my third thing for getting to Emerald is, have you ever considered? This isn't like when you're talking to people about the coaching opportunity, it doesn't have to be this big, formal, scary thing. You don't have to tell them every single detail about coaching. You don't have to know everything in order to build a team. You can just, because you, especially right now, everybody's posting about fitness and health and going to the gym, and they're sharing their progress photos and their healthy food. And you see people already doing so much of what we do as coaches. And this could be as like your challengers. This can also be other people on your social media, but challengers do make the best coaches because they have that belief. But you can just say, like, I comment on people's stuff all the time on my Facebook where I shoot them a message. I say, like, hey, girl, I see you killing your fitness journey. Have you ever considered being a coach or doing what I do as a coach? It doesn't have to be anything formal, especially when and then I use it as an invite to the coach sneak peek. I normally do that, and I know when my coach sneak peek is starting, so I can invite them to that to get them in there. But you don't have to do anything formal or big. Like, a bunch of people think, oh my gosh, I have to know everything about coaching, or I have to have this big thing written out or know all the things. No, it doesn't have to be anything big or formal. You just compliment them on what they're already doing and how this could improve their life. Because it can, and like Amanda said and Dani said, we know that this could change every area of their life just like it's changed ours. It's the reason why you're on this call. So don't be afraid to talk to people. Yeah. So those were my tips.
Look at that timing.
Is it?
We didn't even rehearse that.
Dang.
That's great. Well, I guess we can wrap it up unless anyone has any questions.
I think that was a really good call. Even I took notes.
Yeah, same here. So good.
When I wasn't losing my shit.
I have a tip I'd like to share that I think has been really big for me, because I finally got my shit back together after not missing Success Club 16 months in a row, and then I missed 2 months in a row when I got pregnant, because I got pregnant. So which I'm happy about. That sounded really awful. I'm very happy about my baby. I just it kind of threw a monkey wrench into my flow of my business. But now I hit Success Club last year. I'm on target for Success Club last month, this month, and I'm not ever going to miss it ever again. And I have to tell you that question, what would you do if Beachbody fired you if you didn't hit Success Club? That just punched me in the face. I needed it. I needed that. But group chats with people who are killing it on your team as far as challengers and your coaches, if you kind of put them in an exclusive group, my Team Cup chat group, we're in a chat, Team Cup is big, you need to be communicating, but I find that those girls are rocking it right now. And when I see people in my challenge group who are doing really, really well, I will put them into a group chat and say, hey, you guys are my all-stars right now. And I'm so impressed with the work that you're putting in, the content that you're providing on the team. And I really value what you're adding to the tribe. And that also kind of prunes them to be coaches as well, because it's giving them power and empowering them within the group where they feel like they're not just a challenger. Like they are really somebody who's adding value. And recognizing and empowering people is what we do. That's our job. So if we're doing that on a regular basis with challengers who are coming in, I think that that everyone's business would look different. Even the top coaches, it doesn't matter. Even Amy, Amy is Amy, but she can still do better. Everybody can improve here. That's the thing, is that there's no cap. We can all do better than what we're doing. Every single person. So if you ever get a private message from Amy, I remember the first one that I got, I almost peed my pants. It's when people look up to you as a beacon of knowledge or value, and you reach out to them and say, hey, you're kicking ass. Thank you. that is huge. I think that's why recognition is one of our vitals. But I just think the group chat is really cool because it's so accessible, and but it's also not overbearing. So that was just something that I was thinking about.
I love that for challengers. That's such a good idea. We do it so often with coaches, but I love the idea of doing it with challengers. Anybody else have some tips that they want to share? Last minute thing. One thing that I will say, because it was on my top, but because I feel like we beat the handle with it, or I don't know what the saying is that I'm trying to say right now, so I'm just going to say my tip is get a success partner. Have people talk to other coaches who are on different teams or on the team, but like, you know, talk to other coaches and work with other people. Have somebody that's going to keep you accountable to your goals and where you're going. Because it's really important to talk about the community, and it helps talking about the community when you build relationships with people, because Dani and Amanda and I didn't know each other before coaching, but we're all very good friends and we hold each other accountable, and we do things like this, which we wouldn't have done if we never just started talking to each other. So talk to other coaches. It really helps you build your business and get a different perspective because people do it differently. Yeah, somebody should take a picture.
I could take a screenshot, except for there's more people on here that fit in the screen, if that makes sense. So that's okay.
Screen.
What was that?
I have a full screen on my laptop.
Well, so do I, but there's 22 participants and only 20 are on the screen. You have to go to like the next page, but they're just like, they're not actually people. They're just, well, they're people, but they're like, they're just like the screens with their names. So it's fine. I don't, okay. I'll let one of you guys do it. I don't think you have more than 20 on your page.
Yeah, I think I have everybody.
Because I wasn't in full screen. Okay, I got it now. I get it, you guys. It's blonde hair sometimes. I dye my hair and I lose my mind. Okay, who's doing it?
Smiling.
Who's doing it?
You can do it.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I'm already posed. I'm holding my dog.
Oh, my eyes watering. Oh, hold on. Whoever's doing
All right.
My cheeks hurt.
Okay, is everybody ready? Okay. All right.
I'm like falling. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my god.
Hold on, try it again. I was losing my shit. Guys, if we can do this, you can do this.
I'm just snapping pics, you guys. Bogue. Awesome. Okay, well, I took a bunch. We'll see if we have any good ones.
Okay.
Let them around.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, good to get a little endorphins rushing at the end of the night.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone. I always like to thank you guys for taking time out of your night. I know we're all so busy, and I really appreciate all your time. So thanks for joining us, and hopefully you got some good information. And as always, while I do this in my team call, take action on one thing that you learned tonight within the next 5 minutes.
Ooh, I like that. 5 minutes. There's tons of things that you can put in action, so get to it.
All right, you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.